Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Facebook, wherever you are around the globe. This is Repurposing with Tina. Hello, Tina.
Hello, Stephen.
And me, and our special guest today is Hani Mourra, who is the creator of Repurpose.io, and we'll be talking about that during the course of today's broadcast. If you have any questions for Hani, you're more than welcome to come on camera. You'll find the link up above, and you can come and ask your questions directly. And we are live on Facebook. We've got the confirmation because Robert's here. Hello, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
All right. Now, most programmers are generally designed to a client's requirements, but the unique thing about what you're doing, Annie, is that you designed to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you actually start out and decide that people have a problem, and how are you going to sort it?
I started out myself just solving my own problem, to be honest with you. One of my first softwares I created, I was solving my own problem, which was back in the day, 3-4 years ago, about making videos and putting them on your website. So by solving my own problems and putting it out to a small audience that I had and partnering up with people who had bigger audiences, I just got to know how the other people had the same problems as me. And I'm a content creator myself, a little bit less now than I'd like to, but I started off as blogging and video blogging, and I knew the problems, I knew the pain points, but I reached out to people who actually people who use my software told me what they wanted and how to improve it. And when I got started, one thing led to the next, got involved in podcasting, got involved in more live streaming. So I didn't know where I was going, but starting by solving my own problems led me to learn more about the industry and learn about how people use tools and what their pain points are. And one of my favorite things is automation. So I there's a problem, if I can automate a solution for it, that's where I put my focus on.
Okay, got that. Now, I'll say to everybody, welcome to the show. If you are enjoying the show, please share, which would be good, because we want more people to watch. And yeah, I mean, you've spoken with both of us, haven't you? You've spoken with Tina, did the show with you, I've done the show with you. And the thing that's come across is that this is a genuine problem. I mean, Tina and I both believe in repurposing, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And yes. taking the content from Facebook Live and actually giving it a second life. And that's what we've been talking about in the last two shows. I mean, what are your views on repurposing, Annie?
Yeah, I mean, you want your content in as many places and in as many formats as possible, whether it's audio, video, blog posts, or all of them. Like, you want your content to reach as many people. And some people love consuming it live, like they show up live and they watch the content. Some people miss the live event and they want to watch it later as a video recording. And then some people want to listen to it as an audio. Like audio podcasting is very, very, I don't want to say popular now, but it's a great tool to reach a different audience who don't have time to sit in front of a computer and watch videos. They can be out for a walk. They could be out doing dishes in the gym. Like myself, I do gym. Like, I listen to podcasts at the gym just because I enjoy it. So having your content in different formats on different platforms just gives it more reach, more life. And then the main goal is to get people back to your website. So as a content creator, these, live streaming, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes for your podcasts, all great platforms for discoverability, SoundCloud even, but you want people coming back to your website to, learn more about you, connect with you, and ultimately get on your email list. That's always been my strategy from the beginning. Put content out, drive people back in to your website.
Indeed, and email lists is something that Tina and I were talking about earlier, because it is important, isn't it, Tina?
It is, and I think that, I started out, as a web designer back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I'm seeing kind of a shift of people moving away from building websites. And so I think that if you're not going to have a website, you definitely need to have a strong presence online in another capacity, and you still want to build that email list, which you can do without a website, but you still want to be doing that. So I'm not saying that you should not have a website, but if you're not going to, then you can still use traditional marketing. I mean, email marketing and even direct mail, you know, really old school, is still really effective marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, marketing comes in many shapes and forms, but a website traditionally, as Kevin will attest, hello Kevin, Lisa, Corinda and Robert, is the sort of center of people's universe, unless you've got into live video, of course, in which case video is the center of the universe. And Facebook Live in particular, because that's what's exploded over the last 12 months, isn't it? The number of people doing lives. Yeah.
And the attention you get, Facebook loves it, so they give you the attention that you need. So doing it live, I think one of my favorite things about doing live is that you don't have to worry about editing after too much. You have to just prepare your content, and you know, once you have the courage and to go out and do it live and get comfortable with it, you don't have to worry about recording and editing and doing all that stuff. You just go live and you put your content out, because really the content is what's important. It's not all the fancy editing and intros and outros. You know, those things add a nice touch, but if your content, if you're not putting a lot of effort in creating good content or content that people want to hear or getting your audience involved, like, it's the content, and that's the most important thing in any live stream to me, or in any piece of content. It's the content in the platform that you're delivering it in. So it's not about the fancy tools and video editing and stuff like that. So make sure you have good content at the start.
Totally agree on that. And Kevin's got a point which we can all take. Just Kevin has come up with a contra argument and saying that the website is the only thing online you will ever own.
True.
And have control of.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is true. So you definitely want, well, an email list as well. Like, your website it's a great place to collect emails, but it's also a great place for people, like a central home where people get to know you better. They might see you on a live stream, or might catch your show, or might listen to your podcast, but they don't necessarily, may not get to know what else you're about. You have any products, services, you know, what else are you up to? Your website is a great place for that as well. So it's, you know, a great place to collect emails, great place for people to get to know you more. It's a little more intimate, and also, like Kevin said, it's something that you own.
Yeah, and it is
shut down your account one day, and
yeah, exactly. You have no control, and you have no control over the way it's displayed on other platforms either.
Yeah.
So, you know, as far as organizing your content so that it's easy to find, not a really good way to do that with social media. So website helps you do that. I will say, and I'll play the devil's advocate here, if you have a website and you have no social presence, your website is lost in space. So it does you absolutely no good to have one and not the other. If somebody's going to select just one of those components, I would tell them to go with social. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, the beauty of social is that there are no rights and wrongs. There's only the best way for you. And it's only by experimenting you actually find out what works for you. And the game changer has been live video and Facebook Live. And Facebook, you can download it off Facebook. Now, after we've done this show, couple of hours afterwards, I will go back and Kevin's now agreeing with you, Tina. She's a wonderful moment. You need a connected marketing mix, so you're on the same page there. And we both watched Kevin last night with Peter, and that was a very good show to learn new things. I've lost my train of thought now. Help!
Well, so
this is like what train of thought?
I will just tell people, if you are new to blogging, check out Kevin. He's a blogging expert, and he has lots of good information on creating good content for your blog. So go and check him out. And now hopefully Stephen found his thought that he lost.
I have, yes. It was somewhere over there somewhere. Basically, my thing was that after the end of this show, about a couple of hours afterwards, I would go back. Normally, I would have gone back to the video. I would have edited it so it read in the past. So the post all reads yesterday. Tina and I were chatting to Annie. And then my next task would be to download it to my hard drive, edit it, and upload it to Facebook. And all of that, for every show that I do, and I do about 5 or 6 a week, takes about an hour, and you find yourself hanging around waiting for it. And when I started using Repurpose.io 5 weeks ago, life got a whole lot easier.
You have more time now to create great content.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Oh, thank you for that. So, Annie, why has my life got easier, and what is Repurpose.io?
Well, Repurpose is your central hub where you can distribute and convert your content any way you like. Whether it's a live stream or it's a podcast, you can take episodes and set up the rules that you like and send them to those platforms. So like Stephen was saying, you can set up what we call a workflow, which basically the set of rules that says when I go live on Facebook, upload the video to YouTube when I'm done. So that's one workflow. You can take a podcast, audio podcast, have it converted to a video and send that to YouTube and to Facebook. You can take a Facebook Live, convert it to audio, and send that to SoundCloud to turn that into a podcast. So it's a content repurposing tool where it gives you full control of where you want your content to go.
Stephen, can we bring up screen sharing and show them what the podcast looks like once it's created? Because I think it's really cool.
Right. Okay. Now we're going to seize the moment. Just try this. So Tina's going to go into the lobby for a moment, and Annie and I are going to stay here, and I'm going to share my screen and bring it up full screen. Now, if you're watching on Facebook Live at this very moment, if you could just one thing, if you can make it full screen, please, then the following might make some sense to you. Okay. Otherwise, you can catch the replay. So this is my Repurpose.io account I set up about 6 weeks ago. And basically, as you can see, I'm not going to move or scroll anything. I've got connections to YouTube, Facebook, and I can take data from and to Facebook, SoundCloud, Google Drive, and Dropbox. So those are my 5 connections. The only one I don't have, which Annie will explain in a moment, is the audio podcast, which I don't know nothing about, and I bow to Annie's knowledge on that. Now, so I've connected those up, and it's all done via authorization. There's no passwords to key in anything. It connects to your YouTube, it connects to your Facebook, connects to your SoundCloud, your Google Drive, and your Dropbox. Warning, make sure you have space on your Dropbox and Google Drive before you do this. Yeah. The next thing is that I have set up workflows. Now, I started up with one, and the top one goes from Facebook to YouTube, and I'm going to take this 4th one down. And basically what happens is every time I do a live video on Facebook, it will automatically be uploaded to YouTube as soon as I add the tag word #repurpose. Until I do that, nothing happens. But as soon as I edit the post and put the hashtag on, it will take my Facebook Live and put it on YouTube. I don't see it. It goes onto Repurpose's servers and then goes out to YouTube. It goes out to YouTube with the YouTube title, the description that you put on Facebook, the picture that you've chosen on Facebook goes on YouTube as well, and some of the tags will go across as well if you set those up. So it's automatically taking everything that I create on Facebook on my personal page across to my YouTube channel. It also does exactly the same for LBS 17, which is our Monday show. It does the same for Blabbing for Britain. It does exactly the same for Two Gents, and it does it for Across the Pond, Ask Angelica, and if we scroll down, we'll see somewhere down there is the One Stop as well. So it takes all the videos from Facebook to YouTube just by my adding a tag to the post on Facebook. But that's not the end of it. Oh no, because you can see there, I can send Blabbing for Britain to SoundCloud. Now that works exactly the same. I've connected the two together. I do it manually and basically I just press the button. I can see, hopefully the screen refresh will work here. I can see the episodes of Blubbing for Britain, and I last did the one on the 25th of May. That's now available on SoundCloud, and I could do all the back ones as well. Now, Blubbing for Britain is an ideal candidate for SoundCloud and for an MP3, because the four of us have been talking for Britain for 79 weeks, and there's no break in the conversation. So that means that when we take the podcast from the video, and Repurpose.io does it automatically, there are no gaps. There's no need to edit. The other thing I do is I send videos when I require up to Dropbox. I also send them up to Google Drive, and every copy of Ask Angelica automatically goes to my Google Drive, and I can just give Angelica a link and she can download it and repurpose it. So we'll no doubt come back to this in a moment, but that's basically what we're doing, is going from Facebook to YouTube, Facebook to SoundCloud, Facebook to Google Drive, and Facebook to Dropbox. And I'm going to come back now, out of breath, drop that screen down, and bring Tina back. Okay, now if you were watching that full screen, or you catch the replay, you will have seen all the combinations that are there. And just to catch up on the comments for a moment while I catch my breath. Okay, and the first question from Kevin, the cost of Repurpose.io is?
Yeah, so the cost, we have two different plans. You can do, if you're just doing Facebook Live to YouTube, it's a $12 plan. So $12 a month, you can publish all your Facebook Lives to YouTube from either one page or one group or your personal profile. If you're want to really do repurposing to different channels, if you have a podcast or you want to take your live into a podcast, or you have multiple Facebook pages, then it's a $20 per month plan. So we've been out for I think 7 or 8 weeks. Stephen was one of the first ones on board, and so our pricing is still in the beginning. So it's like our early pricing. So it's $12 plan or 12 or 20. We're trying to keep it simple now. But you can try it for free. Before you commit to it, you can try it for free. You can publish, I think, 4 episodes, either podcasts or live streams, whatever you like, to anywhere you want. You can test it out, make sure it's the way it works, the way you expect it to work. And yeah, we're happy to hear feedback. We've been getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of use. I think we crossed 500 users in the past 8 weeks. It's been
wow.
Not all paid users, of course. A lot of them are trial,
okay.
But we've been growing very fast and getting a lot of awesome feedback about what people like to see down the road. And the good news is it's actually things that I've already thought of. Like, it's good to see that the audience and the users are actually in line with what I had as a vision for the product as well. So it's very exciting. It really is. Like, it's been growing fast and getting a lot of attention. Not only attention, but a lot of great feedback, because it just saves people time. Time is an asset that you can't get back. And sitting there trying to download videos, upload videos, you can set it, like Steven's got it all set up. He just has to turn the hashtag on and then just go to bed or move on with his day. And then he knows that the content's going automatically to wherever he wants to go to. So you're in control, but it's also automated. That's the thing, that's the value in it, is it saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people when they, because one of the first questions you always get, one of the first questions you always get asked is like, how much is the product, right? Mm-hmm. And I say, how much is your time worth? Because if you're saving an hour, is your time worth $12 or $20 an hour? And if you're like Steven, who's saving 5 or 6 hours because of the number of shows he does, and he's having to download and then upload, you're saving out a lot more than what you're spending to have this automated, not to mention the headache that you get rid of. So yeah, Steven is a machine.
He's a content machine. It's amazing.
Well, this is not work. I mean, I enjoy getting together and talking and sharing information, and certainly sharing systems which can save people time. Because, as I said, 6 hours a week, if you costed that out, say $40 an hour, which should be conservative, that's a lot of money.
So I got to charge you more again, right? Is that what you're saying, Steve? I should charge you?
No, because you're spreading it over the hundreds of users. I don't have a problem with you spreading it over the users. That's the beauty of it. And the other thing is that there's a phrase that you use quite often, which I can now live by, which is you set it and forget it. Set and forget.
Yeah.
And just want to catch up with comments. David says, I've got a whole lot of repurposing going on. That's true, including the LVS 17 show every Monday gets uploaded to YouTube using repurpose.io. And I might look at putting the MP3 onto SoundCloud as well. Yeah. And Lisa says, thank you for the demo. You're more than welcome. I just enjoy using the software, and now would be a good time to mention. I don't often blow my own trumpet, but now would be a good time to mention that if you want a course on how to get the best out of repurpose.io, then you'll find one on Udemy. And if you just type in repurpose, you'll find it. And if you want a coupon, then you can see Annie or myself or Tina. Right, so that's the advert over. Yeah, I mean, it is about saving time. And the other thing that I haven't got to grips with yet, and I'd like you to explain, because so far we've been going from Facebook Live over to SoundCloud and YouTube and Dropbox and Google Drive, but you're now going the other way.
Yeah. So if you're a podcaster or you have an audio podcast, you can distribute that to other channels. So you can send, if you're hosting with another podcast host like Libsyn or Blueberry or a lot of those podcasting hosts, you can have a copy sent to SoundCloud, because SoundCloud is almost like the YouTube of audio. So it's like a place to get discovered, to get your content discovered. So you can have it sent to SoundCloud, but even cooler, you can have it converted to a video. So you can have a audio automatically converted to a beautiful video, not like a static image. We're talking about custom templates that you upload a template, it designs a beautiful video for you, adds a title and a custom image for you, all automatically, and sent that to YouTube. And then last week, we can actually publish it to Facebook as well. So you can automatically have your audio podcast go out to YouTube, Facebook as videos, like native videos. You're not sharing a link, you're playing a native video, uploading a native piece of content to YouTube and Facebook and SoundCloud if you want as well. So you get three different big destinations that you can get your audio podcast sent to automatically. And the nice thing is you can have a call to action to send people back to your website or a landing page or any page you want, so they can learn more about you or sign up for your email list. So it's all automated. Like, you turn on this auto switch, and all you need to do is just continue your business. Just upload your podcast to wherever you normally upload. It goes live on iTunes, and then Repurpose takes over, and it sends it to SoundCloud if you want, sends it to YouTube as a video, and sends it to Facebook groups or as your Facebook page or your personal profile or all of them. Totally up to you. You're in full control of where you want your content to go.
And that's a really important thing that Hani said, that these upload as native to the platform. Because some of you may not know this, but if you share a video from YouTube to Facebook, Facebook does not treat that the same way as if you uploaded it directly to Facebook. Yeah. They favor content that's shared on their native platform, and they all do that. Twitter is starting to favor live video as well, but live video that's coming to them through their platform and not shared. So it's really important that it's being uploaded as a native piece of content. And I know Hani shared a link with us to demonstrate what that video, the audio video, looks like whenever it's taken from the podcast over to a video, which is really cool. So it's beautiful. I love it. It's like one of my favorite things. I know it's kind of silly, but to me, it's just like one of my favorite things that happens in this process.
Yeah, no, it really is one of my favorite too. Like, it's just because you're taking an audio and you're turning it into a beautifully designed video without having to like download it and open up Movie Maker or iMovie and then render it and then upload it. You don't do anything actually. You just design a template, or you can pick one of our templates, set it, and forget it and go to bed. And then automatically, it's going to be live on YouTube and Facebook as soon as you publish it to iTunes. Make it live through iTunes.
That's the only thing I haven't tried out. I've got to try it. I've got to try it. This weekend, I'm going to do a podcast, and then I'm going to convert it to a video and post it to Facebook. Watch out, world.
Repurpose.
I'm not even a podcaster, but now I want to do podcasts.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, I mean, when we watch live videos, I mean, everybody here obviously is glued to the screen. We thank you for that, and you're actually watching us live, which is brilliant. But what happens is that people turn away from this page, and they're actually listening. Now, if you're listening to something, you may as well be listening to a podcast. But if it's a beautiful podcast, then you might even sit and watch that. So that's good. I'm going to try that out this weekend. Now, a question from David. And it's, when can we expect integration to other platforms such as Libsyn?
That's a great question. So let me just clarify. When you're going from podcast to YouTube or podcast to Facebook, we support every single podcast feed. If it works on iTunes, which hopefully your podcast does, like 99% of the podcasts do, then you can doesn't matter what host, what platform you're using, it's fully compatible with all podcasts. I think what David's asking is something I talked about a few weeks ago was you want to go from Facebook Live to a podcast. So the other way around, you want to convert your lives into a podcast. Right now, we only connect with SoundCloud, or you can send it to your Dropbox, so you can manually upload it to your podcast host. But we are working on next is the Libsyn. Libsyn is one of the most popular podcast hosting services out there. So if you're looking to start a podcast, Libsyn is probably a good place. SoundCloud is a good place too, but Libsyn is more focused on podcasting. And anyway, so we're looking to integrate Libsyn. It's hard to say dates. We're like about maybe a quarter of the way into it. We've got the two services talking, but we just got to get the flow working. I would say weeks to a month or so to get it out in the wild, but we do have them talking already, which is a good sign. So just to recap, you're going podcast to YouTube or podcast to Facebook, that works with any podcast feed that you have. If you want to go the other way around, Facebook, your live videos into podcasts, right now, SoundCloud is the only one that's automated. But in the future, we're going to integrate the other podcast hosts. A lot of them have reached out actually to me and said, hey, we like what you're doing with Repurpose. Can you connect our service like Podbean or the other podcast hosts? Can you connect it so our users can go Facebook Live to podcasts automatically? So it seems to be, I didn't think a lot of people are doing this, but I think it seems to be a common theme here that people want to kind of kill two birds in one stone, do a live broadcast, do an interview, like tools like BeLive let you do interviews nicely, and then get that content as an audio podcast all in one shot without having to do anything.
Yeah, I think that's something that's important that you mentioned just now, and you're talking with these platforms. And so this is not a piece of software or a program that's kind of taken a back door into these platforms. Hani and his team have reached out to these platforms and have gotten permission, and everything's kind of above board. So you don't have to worry about, they're going to find out we're slipping it through the back door and then they're going to cut it off, because that's not what's happening here.
Yeah. And a lot of people are asking for it, like the Podbean, other hosting services. Hey, can you connect your service to our service? Because we like what you're doing. And so it's everything's done through like the API, like everything's done through public. No, we don't do things that are illegal, or everything's approved. The Facebook apps are approved, and the YouTube, we follow the API. So everything is done, I want to say, like not legally, obviously legally, but we're just following what's available. We don't try to download. That's one reason why a lot of people are asking, can we download YouTube videos and send them to Facebook, to go the other way around? No, unfortunately not. And I'd love to do it. You can probably find a way to hack it, but YouTube does not allow you through their API to download even your own videos. So we could fake it or go around the system, but I don't want to. I don't.
No.
No, we don't want to violate their terms of service, right? Exactly. So it's not a matter of being legal. It's that they have specific terms of service. And, and as all of us know, if you do something that's against Facebook's terms of service, there's 2 billion users. So it might take a while before they figure it out, but then your accounts can just vanish. with no warning and no recourse.
Which is not worth it. I mean, the recording can disappear just like that. Now, a question from Kevin, and first, I'm going in two parts. Is there a limit on uploads? And then Tina and I will happily answer the second part of the question.
Limit on uploads to where? To SoundCloud or?
I mean, you're doing a transfer, aren't you, from Facebook Live to YouTube?
To YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. So
as long as
limits?
The limits are with YouTube. It's weird. It's not limit like an absolute limit. It's how fast we can upload. We've had issue when we're trying to upload too many videos back to back to back to back to back. Then it just starts giving a few errors a few times, and then you hit retry and it comes back. So it doesn't like us sending too many videos in a row. So we're trying to optimize. They don't tell you exactly what's the number. So, we're trying to kind of slow down the upload process. But typically this happens in the beginning when you have, let's say you have 100 episodes and you want to push them all into YouTube. So you might run through, we're still in beta. So if you have a few errors in the processing, you go back and you say retry all errors next day, and it goes through. It's just, they don't like you hammering too many videos at a time, consecutively, I should say. But there's no limits on how many videos you can upload.
And sorry.
Hundreds of podcasts. No, I was going to say we have hundreds of podcasters, especially some people have hundreds of episodes.
Well, didn't Rayhan catch up on all these 800 YouTube videos?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I had to follow up with him. It's been about a month now, and I'm not sure if it went through all of them, but he's constantly working the system. He has 700 or so videos, and I'm sure now he's probably up to over 700 for sure. So he's been going through that system as well, yeah.
Right, so as Annie's just confirmed, there's no limit on uploads other than those imposed by the sites themselves, and they're virtually non-existent. And to answer your second question, after we finish this show, we will edit the post, and you'll find two referral links in there. You'll find Tina's referral link and my referral link, because Repurpose.io do have a referral system, which works very well. And but Tina, we recommend it, don't we?
Absolutely, yeah. It's great. I mean, there's no downside here. It saves you so much time, which you can go to bed, as Hani said, or you can create more content. So I mean, it really does just, when you create, even if you're doing live, which to me is so much easier to create content live than it is to write and edit and craft blog posts and other types of content. So for me, this is the fastest and easiest way to get my content out there. But it still takes time, right? You still have to take the time. You have to do the production. You have to go in afterwards and edit if you're going to use it in other places and all that. So it still takes time. So it just frees up so much more time when you can automate those processes. And I really like that you don't have to choose like one thing. So you can, depending on the tags that you're using, you can set this up in a bunch of different ways. And so everything that you create does not have to go to YouTube. If you don't want it to, then you simply don't tell it to. And so it just makes it so much easier, because I may hop on and do a live, and it's just because, I don't know, it's Memorial Day and I want to tell everybody Happy Memorial Day. And I don't want that to go to YouTube, because there's, it's not evergreen. It's no point for it to be there. And so I don't have to tell it to do that. And if I tell it, that doesn't mean I have to go in and set up some complicated mess to figure this out. I just don't tag it, right? So it doesn't go. And so that's, to me, that it's like one of the things I love about Be Live is there is a little bit of a learning curve, but it's something that everyone can figure out. And much like Be Live, Hani and his team are very responsive. Like Stephen said earlier, we've both had him on shows already. As the developer, he's been more than happy to answer questions and help resolve problems and everything. So we're big fans, obviously.
Well, it's a very, very active group, isn't there? Facebook group that people can join.
Yeah, we have a Facebook group as well for Repurpose. I'm trying to come up with a cool name, but maybe I'll ask the group to come up with a Repurposers or something like that. But yeah, we do have a Facebook group. I'm in there. I'm active in there. The people are in there that are active as well. But Tina mentioned a really good point, is that the hashtags really save you time, because the system is very flexible. If you want everything to go, you can have everything go. If you want only specific episodes, you can still have the autopilot, like our auto publishing mode on, always on, which means you don't have to log into our system, but when you just have to add a hashtag in your Facebook description, and that will trigger our system to grab that video or ignore that video, depending on the rules that you set. So it is very flexible, but it's still automatic in the sense that you don't have, you can set it up in a way that you don't need to log in to repurpose. Maybe, if the episode doesn't go on YouTube or you notice something's wrong, then you log in. But typically, once you set it up, you don't need to log in. You turn on the auto publish, you set all the rules, you test everything out, and then you just focus on, going live or, your podcast or whatever content you're creating, and without having to worry about logging in every time and clicking publish or picking an image, or you just set the rules and you let it go on autopilot.
Yeah,
indeed. Sorry, Tina.
Yeah, I was just going to say something else that just came to mind is this helps you with being consistent. And that's one of the most important things about social media and really having any kind of presence online is being consistent in what you're doing. And so we all have the best of intentions, right? I made that video and I know I'm going to upload it to my other profiles and I'm going to share it here and I'm going to edit and do that. And a lot of times we just don't because we get busy. We have other things to do. And so, yeah, it made it to that initial platform, but then it never made it anywhere else. And so this really helps with being consistent and making sure that everything's getting where it needs to go.
And it's motivating because you just have to make the content once, not worry about this long checklist of things. Oh, I got to download and then I got to go upload again. And then my computer can't do anything. I'm downloading and uploading all day long. And it's like, this is something on your mind that you don't have to worry about. And it gives you motivation to just create more because the more you create, you don't have extra work. It's just happening automatically.
Right. Yep. Yeah. If I do a 7th show a week, then I know it's going to be taken care of. Right. I'm delighted to say that Robert Myers has joined us. So I'm going to drop down for a moment and Robert can pop up and ask his question or make his statement all. Okay. So I'll see you in a moment.
All right.
Hey, good morning, Hani. Good morning, Tina.
Great to see you.
I saw you were live, and I just wanted to hop on. I posted a little note in the Facebook live chat that I love the program. I love the fact that it is such a time saver. It really is a superb deal, and I like the activity in the Facebook group, Hani. So I just wanted to hop on and say thank you for your contribution to the community. It's such a time saver.
Oh, I appreciate
really
it.
Nice.
Great to see you. Good to see you on camera. We talked a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Get this put a face to the name, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I had your face of the name, but I guess you hadn't seen me.
I've seen the Facebook profile, but it's just when you talk to somebody on the phone, you see them on Facebook.
Yeah,
talk to them face to face for live. It's just nice.
That's right. When we talked, we weren't Skyping. I forgot.
Yeah, we were just on the phone.
Yeah. Very good.
Awesome.
Since Robert came on, Robert and I are co-collaborators, as are Stephen and I, obviously, with this show. But the cool thing is, so Hani's mentioned before, the reason he creates his products is because he's lazy, and so it makes it easy. He doesn't have to do it. And so when I have someone like Stephen, who's like was mentioned before, he's like this monster content creator. Everything that he's doing, he shares it everywhere. So now I just have to go grab it. I literally don't have to do anything. I don't even have to share it through repurposing, so I can just go snag it. Now the difference is I'm sharing the content from his platform and not uploading it natively if I do that.
Yes.
So I would more than likely download it and put it on my own as a native piece. But for repurposing, since we do that collaboratively, only one of us needs to set that up. If both of us set it up, then it's going out twice to all of the things that we're co-collaborating on. So it's great for two. So if you co-collaborate, do it with someone who has repurposed.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's another reason, Hani, why I felt very comfortable. Before I finished my free trial, as it were, I went ahead and subscribed for the full 9 yards because I love the fact that you're getting permission to do this from the services, and they're not going to shut it off because it's like you said, a backdoor approach. It's just that's the correct way of doing it.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Robert in another life was an attorney, so that's important to him that you're not.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's important for me. I want to play by the rules. Like people have asked, hey, can you publish to Instagram? Directly to Instagram.
Yeah.
Like legally, no. Is there a workaround?
Yeah.
So I've been avoiding that workaround because people have found ways to hack the servers and not hack a server, but hack a way to get content up there. But Instagram's rules are you got to publish from your phone. So we do have a workflow that you can kind of do it legally by going to Dropbox and downloading it on your phone and then uploading it. But beyond that, we don't try to work the system. It's not worth it. We don't want to get in any trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you mess up with one, then all of them are going to stop working with you because, that's the way it works. Even though they're in competition, they don't want to work with someone that's not following and not willing to respect their terms of service. And sometimes people...
Reputation is key.
Yeah.
Sometimes people violate the terms of service without even knowing, because the truth is none of us read all that.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot to read.
You may be the exception because you've had to for what you're doing, but for average users, we don't read the whole terms of service. And and Robert knows this, that ignorance is no excuse for when it comes to the law and terms of service. So that you do. I mean, it really is not worth the risk of losing everything that you've done. As someone who's using these platforms, your stuff will just disappear. And I've seen it happen more than once, and sometimes inexplicably.
And sometimes it's hard to get back. Like it's hard. Like Facebook, I know a friend of mine had his Facebook ad account shut down because he did something, didn't follow terms of service, and they would not open it again. Like even though it was an honest mistake, and he just said, "I'm sorry, you violated. There is no review. You're done." And he's like, wow.
Yeah.
So it happens. I mean, you got to be careful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's no, like I was saying earlier, it's like 8 weeks, 7 weeks, no, or 8 or 9, no, 8 weeks or so, I want to say.
Yeah.
The feedback has been so good from people, and it just saves them time. And you're a podcaster, and you're doing live streaming. It's a double bonus. Like you've got your podcast going to different channels, and you got your Facebook lives going to different channels. You got all this content going everywhere without you having to do it.
Yeah.
And
really looking forward to using it, on all my stuff. It's just really such a time saver.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we've lost your sound.
Camera.
Oh, there you go.
Come on back up, Stephen.
So I will put a link that you provided, Hani, to the example of the podcast video. I'll drop that in the comments when the show is finished so people can see how that looks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the beauty is with podcasting, we have some templates you can choose, or you can upload your own. You can design your own. So if you have, a certain brand, obviously you have a brand you want to maintain, you can brand your own templates, and then our software will fill in the title and put the image for you automatically. So this is important because you're getting a unique video. Every video is going to be unique because the title is going to be like the title would be part of the video, and it'll be unique to your episode. And then the image that you upload for your podcast will also be part of your episode. So you get a unique episode a unique video for every podcast, and then we have this cool waveform that's animated. It just looks engaging. Like makes you want to click and listen as opposed to a static image, which sometimes you may not know is even a video.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a programmer as well, but I program desktops, and I can see the joy of actually creating something, and it comes together exactly as you planned it, and you think, well, did I do that?
Yeah,
and it's like, perfect.
I've had it in my head for over a year. Like this should have been out middle of last year. I just got nervous, and I just got scared. I was like, oh, this is like nobody wants this. You know how you just start doubting yourself, and then once I got it out, once I got pieces built, I mean, it's not just me, it's a team effort. We have a team here. I just don't get me wrong. I'm not like, I barely do the programming myself. I'm more like the architect in a sense. I put the blueprints together and understand the technical stuff, but just seeing, like you said, seeing it come to life after, well, it took longer than I wanted, but seeing it come to life is such an exciting feeling. Like wow, this has always been in here. Now it's there, and people are using it, and people are getting value out of it. It's exciting. It's always been like that for me. That's the most exciting part, is people are getting value. They're saving time. They're more motivated to produce content.
True. We're at the start of a growing market because we're still pioneers in live video.
Yeah.
And it's increasing every day. It's a growing market, and more people are going to come to realize that they can repurpose, because Tina and I are going to keep telling people they can over the coming weeks. They can repurpose, and one of the best ways to do it, because as Kevin quite rightly points out, with repurpose.io, Kevin likes the sound of the fact that you're using repurposes bandwidth and not ours. So because it never touches our machine, it goes straight, it never goes anywhere near, does it? So you are saving bandwidth, so that's a cost saving as well as a time saving, and a headache saving as well. Because one of the things is, if you do several shows a week, and I'm only human like everybody, you can forget to put one on YouTube. And I just want to go back to the demo for a moment and show why that's no longer a problem. So Tina, if I take you down for a moment, I'm just going to do a final demo before we come to the end of the show. So I'm going to screen share again, and I'm going to put that full screen and go over to repurpose.io. Just to recap, I've set my connections up. I'm connected to YouTube and Facebook and SoundCloud and Google Drive and Dropbox. And I can go from Facebook to YouTube, Facebook to SoundCloud, Facebook to Google Drive, and Facebook to Dropbox. And that can all be done automatically once I've set it up. Now, I do it so that as soon as I've edited a post on Facebook and put the repurpose tag in, which is one that I decided on, it will do it automatically. And I've got all the workflows set up. There's no limit on the number of workflows you can set up. As I said earlier, there's no limit on the load that you place. Everything will get queued and will get there eventually. I find that things usually get there as soon as I put the repurpose tag, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes later, which is nothing, because you know it's happening. You don't need to check it, and you just know that it's going to arrive on YouTube or Google Drive. Now, if we look at a particular, just for example, I create a new workflow, and what I'm going to do this time is, this is a sample workflow. This is step by step how to do it. So I give it a title, select where I'm going from. Now I'm going to go from my Facebook Live videos, and it says, is it my personal profile, from a Facebook group, as Annie said earlier, or a Facebook page? And it gives me a list of my pages. And if I go for Blabbing for Britain, which everybody's heard of, then I can go next. What should the system do? It should upload the video. Where should it upload the video to? And I can select, it can go to Facebook, it can go to Google Drive or to Dropbox. So if I wanted to go to Google Drive, just set Google Drive, I can create a new folder. So I just put a test folder there and create the repurpose workflow and select the folder. Create the playlist folder. Oh dear, this is a live demo.
It's always the case. Yeah, there was reconnect your Google Drive.
Right. Okay.
Friday, yeah, with our service. So
right, that's something I've forgotten to do. Let's go back to the connections again, and just say that normally, except in the live situation where you're trying to demonstrate,
when we're live, always something happens.
Oh yeah, but that we say that it does in fact. I will attest to this. It is in fact transferring everything that I've been doing across to Facebook Live, from Facebook Live to YouTube. Right. Okay.
Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a question on another post. I shared this out, and so if they comment on the post that's not the live post here, then we can't see it. But I'm watching it on my other screen here. And someone wants to know, if you repurpose and upload to YouTube, can you have it set to private until you're ready to go public?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. You can go private, unlisted, or public, and you can set your playlist as well. So it's customizable. So you can decide if you want to go private first, test it out, and then go live on a later date. Live means live, I mean like published on YouTube. You can do that as well.
And Charmaine also asked them, how do you sign up to be an affiliate? And you automatically are, aren't you?
Yeah, so as soon as you have a free trial or a paid account, you go to your accounts page and you'll have a special link. Our affiliate program we're tracking all the referrals now, and we're in the final stages of finalizing the payout and the commission. So I don't know, I can't give the details out. We still haven't finalized it, but we've been tracking everybody for, I think, past at least 6 weeks or so. So it's been around for a while. You will get credited, but we're still, literally the app is like 8 weeks old. So we've been trying to move as fast as we can, but we appreciate anything and we track everything. So any referrals you give, even for a free trial, everything's tracked from now.
Brilliant. Well, that virtually now. As I say, I enjoy using the system and will continue to do so. And Annie, if you'd like to give your final words, and Tina, would you close us for this week afterwards?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, content. Create your content, and that's the fun part. And let tools or teams, whatever you need, whether it's repurpose or not repurpose, get your content out there. But dedicate most of your time creating that content, and then have help getting it distributed to other platforms.
Stephen?
Tina. Right.
You have final thoughts also?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. And Tina and I was, yep.
Yeah. Well, I do want to add one more thing. And my final thought is, if you are only doing live to Facebook right now, you are missing a huge opportunity, because it's a very short shelf life for video on Facebook. And those get buried very quickly in your feed and on the timelines from the feed of the people who are viewing. So make use of the content that you created, and make sure that you're, whether you're using Repurpose or not, Repurpose certainly makes it easier, but share that out and do some other things with it, and make the most of your content. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So thank you guys, everyone, Hani, for joining us, and Stephen for being our gracious co-host as always. And thank you for joining us for Repurpose. And we will see you next Tuesday at 12 Eastern. Go check out Stephen's Udemy class if you want to learn how to use this. There is a little bit of a learning curve, and guess what? Even I took the course. So yeah,
you did. And I thank you for taking the course, as several people who are in the Repurpose group have done so as well. So thank Annie for that publicly, for passing on
great course. I went through it. I was like, wow, this is like the manual on steroids. Like, it was like so detailed. It was amazing. So I appreciate you taking the time to put it together.
It was a labor of love. I really enjoyed doing it, and
thank you so much.
I look forward to the continued success of Repurpose.io, and to Tina and I playing our part in that. And as we say, we'll be posting our affiliate links afterwards. So if you're watching the replay, click one of the links and you can try the system out for 14 days. So from Annie and Tina and myself, it's goodbye until we broadcast again next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Take care.